Hello and welcome to this Unity tutorial. Today we'll be going over how to set up a scroll rect in Unity. Now this is just a basic project, nothing else has been added to it really. I just have some prefabs and some sprites in here. These prefabs are just UI images. To get started, I'm going to right click here, I'm going to create UI canvas. And underneath that canvas, I'm going to go to UI and I'm going to select scroll view. Now whenever this is created, you can drop down here, you can see it adds a bunch of child objects as well. Inside of our scroll view, we have a few things that are defined that are important to note. We have our content that is defined underneath the viewport. We have our viewport, which is right there, and then we also have our two scroll bars. Now what I'm going to set up here is I'm going to set up a horizontal scroll. So I'm going to uncheck the vertical, and then I'm going to go to my vertical scroll bar and I'm just going to delete it because we don't need that for right now. Next, I'm going to go to my content. I'm going to add a component, and I want to add a layout group. Now there are three different layout groups. There's a grid layout group, a horizontal layout group, and a vertical layout group. I'm going to start with a horizontal layout group. The vertical layout group is basically the same as the horizontal one, and then I'll finish with the grid layout group to show you what the difference is. For the horizontal layout group, I'm going to add this here, and then I'm going to take my four prefabs, I'm going to plop them in, and I'm going to do that a few times. Okay, and then you see I've got a lot of content in here, and first you think, okay, well, it's cool, it's automatically, organizing them, making sure they're all together. But whenever I hit play, it doesn't actually let me scroll to view everything. That's because the scroll view only pays attention to the size of the content object. So we need to figure out a way to dynamically resize our content object. That's pretty easy. All we need to do is go to our content object, open this to add a component. We're going to add a content size fitter. Now, since our content is horizontal, we're going to select this and we're going to select preferred size. This is going to automatically expand our content to where it will encompass our entire list of objects. Now I'm going to hit play, and you can see that now I've got a scroll wheel down here where I can view all the objects that are inside there. We'll do something similar with our grid layout group. I'm going to remove the horizontal one. I'm going to add the grid layout group. I'm going to set a constraint here with fixed row count. I'm going to set the fixed row count to 2. Now I'll hit play. You can see I've got 2 rows of the objects organized in here. I'm going to stop. And then because it doesn't look super great whenever it's all piled up together like that, we need to add some padding. I'm just going to do 16 all the way around. And then also in our spacing, I'm going to add 16. Now we're kind of outgrowing our little box here, so I'm going to go to my scroll view. I'm going to resize this to 256, 256. You can see now, whenever I hit play, everything's a little bit neater. There are a few additional options inside of our scroll view here that are good to note. First is the movement type. So you can see how whenever I drag here, it kind of bounces. It lets me over scroll, and then it'll bounce back. That's because it's currently set to elastic. If I set it to clamped, it won't let me over scroll. If I change it back to unrestricted, I can actually scroll however much I want past it, and it won't stop me. Elastic is best for game UIs I've found. In-game, it lets players know that there's nothing further along for you to scroll to. Clamped is good for more kind of like a professional feel. but I prefer Elastic usually. It just has a little bit better feedback. And that's really it. That's all there is really to scroll views. If you have any questions or like this video, let me know. If I have a desire for it, then I might make a more advanced version where I go into different ways that you can actually use these scroll bars to indicate that there's additional content and how you can scroll. That's all for now. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.